stand at the threshold of another morning, the faint hum of your alarm pulling you from sleep, and already your mind is a tangle of thoughts. What emails need answering? What errands are overdue? What expectations you're not meeting? The world outside seems to move at a relentless pace, a blur of notifications, deadlines, and demands that leave you feeling like you're always one step behind. Your home might be a maze of misplaced items, clothes you haven't worn in years, or half-finished projects that whisper of good intentions. Your calendar is a patchwork of obligations, some meaningful, others draining, and deep down, there's a quiet ache, a sense that amidst all this doing, you've lost touch with what truly matters. You're not alone in this. So many of us are swept up in the current of modern life, chasing more possessions, more achievements, more validation, only to find ourselves drowning in clutter, stress, or a vague sense of disconnection. What if there were a way to step out of this chaos without upending your life? A way to find clarity, purpose, and peace through the smallest of actions? That's where the Japanese concept of ma enters, a profound yet simple idea that invites you to embrace the space between, space in your home, your mind, your heart, to create a life that's intentional, meaningful, and beautifully uncluttered. Let's begin by unraveling the essence of ma. In Japanese, ma doesn't have a direct translation, but it refers to the space, pause, or interval between things, be it physical objects, moments in time, or even thoughts. It's the breath between notes in a melody, the empty space in a traditional tea room that makes the single flower vase stand out, the quiet moment after a conversation that lets meaning settle. Rooted in Japanese aesthetics and Zen philosophy, ma is about the power of absence, the beauty of what's not there as much as what is. Historically, it's woven into Japan's cultural fabric. Think of the sparse elegance of a haiku, where the unsaid carries as much weight as the words, or the minimalist design of a tatami room, where empty space invites calm. Philosophically, ma teaches that space isn't just emptiness, it's potential, a canvas for clarity, intention, and presence. In a world that glorifies fullness, full schedules, full homes, full feeds, ma offers a radical counterpoint. By creating space, you create room for what truly matters. Now picture your life as it is. Maybe your mornings are a rush of grabbing mismatched socks from an overflowing drawer while checking your phone for urgent messages. Your desk might be buried under papers, gadgets, and half-read books, each item a reminder of a task undone or a goal unmet. Your mind feels the same, crowded with worries about bills, comparisons to others' perfect lives online, or the nagging fear that you're not doing enough. You might feel trapped in a cycle of consumerism, buying things to fill a void, only to find they add to the clutter. Or perhaps you're disconnected, yearning for deeper relationships or a sense of purpose, but unsure where to start. Ma invites you to pause, to see the clutter, physical, mental, digital, not as a failure, but as an opportunity. By creating space, you can rediscover what lights you up, what grounds you, what makes your life yours. Why does ma matter so much today? Because it's a lifeline in a world that thrives on excess. We're bombarded with messages that more is better, a bigger house, a shinier car, a busier schedule as proof of success. Social media amplifies this, showcasing lives that seem perfect, leaving you feeling like you're falling short. Consumerism pushes you to buy, accumulate, and upgrade, promising happiness but delivering stress. Financial anxiety creeps in as you spend to keep up, while digital distractions, endless notifications, infinite scrolls, steal your attention. Ma challenges this by celebrating less, not less joy, but less noise. It's about quality over quantity, about choosing what serves you and letting go of what doesn't. It's not about minimalism in a stark, all-white room sense, though minimalism can be a tool. It's about crafting a life that feels spacious, intentional, and rich with meaning. Let's explore ma in depth. At its core, ma is about the intentional use of space to enhance presence and purpose. In a physical sense, it's the empty shelf that highlights a cherished photo, the cleared desk that invites focused work. In time, it's the pause between tasks that lets you breathe, or the unscheduled hour that allows spontaneity. In relationships, It's the silence that deepens connection, the space to listen without rushing to respond. Philosophically, Ma aligns with Zen's emphasis on mindfulness, where emptiness is not lack but potential. In traditional Japanese architecture, Ma is the open space in a home that fosters calm, like the Ingawa porch that blurs the line between indoors and out, inviting reflection. Culturally, it's tied to rituals like the tea ceremony, where every movement is deliberate, every pause meaningful. Ma isn't about erasing everything. It's about curating what remains, making space for what aligns with your values. To illustrate, imagine a traditional Japanese garden. Unlike a Western garden packed with flowers, a Japanese garden might have a single tree, a few rocks, and a sweep of gravel. The empty space, the ma, is what makes the tree's curve or the rock's texture stand out. It's not about having less for the sake of less. It's about creating harmony, where every element has room to breathe. Now, apply this to your life. A cluttered room might overwhelm you, but clearing one corner creates a sanctuary. A packed schedule might exhaust you, but carving out 10 minutes for quiet restores you. Ma is the space that lets your life sing, like the pause in a song that makes the next note resonate. The benefits of embracing Ma are vast and transformative, touching every facet of your existence. Mentally, Ma brings clarity by reducing the noise that clouds your thoughts. A decluttered desk or a simplified to-do list can ease the mental load, helping you focus on what matters. Physically, creating space in your environment can lower stress. Studies show cluttered spaces increase cortisol, while open ones promote calm. A tidy bedroom might improve your sleep, giving you more energy. Emotionally, Ma fosters resilience by giving you room to process feelings without distraction. Imagine sitting in a quiet corner with a journal, letting emotions flow without judgment. That's Ma at work. Spiritually, it aligns with mindfulness, inviting you to be fully present, whether you're savoring a meal or listening to a friend. In relationships, Ma creates space for deeper connections. Pausing to truly hear your partner or friend can transform your bond. Financially, it encourages conscious consumption, aligning with Madanai, the Japanese principle of avoiding waste. By buying less but choosing better, you save money and reduce clutter. Environmentally, MA promotes sustainability, using what you have, repairing instead of replacing, cherishing quality over quantity. Creatively, it sparks inspiration. A clear space or a quiet moment can unlock ideas you didn't know you had. Let's paint a picture. Imagine you're overwhelmed by a cluttered kitchen, every counter covered with appliances, papers, and half-used spices. Applying Ma, you clear one counter, keeping only a cutting board and a favorite mug. Suddenly, cooking feels inviting, not chaotic. You start preparing meals mindfully, enjoying the process, which nourishes your body and soul. Or consider your schedule, packed with meetings and errands. By saying no to one non-essential commitment, you create a pocket of Ma, an hour to read, walk, or simply be. Or, this small space recharges you, making you more present for your family. Financially, instead of buying another gadget, you repair your old one, saving money and feeling a sense of respect for what you own. These examples show how Ma transforms daily life, creating ripples of peace and purpose. Contrast this with the alternative, a life of excess and clutter. Without Ma, your home might be a maze of unused items, each one a reminder of guilt or unfulfilled plans. Your schedule might be so full that you're always rushing, never present. You might spend impulsively, chasing trends, only to feel emptier. Digital distractions, endless notifications, social media comparisons, steal your focus, leaving you disconnected from yourself and others. This approach breeds stress, anxiety, and a sense of being lost. Ma, by contrast, is sustainable. It's not about depriving yourself, but about choosing what adds value. Where excess overwhelms, Ma liberates. Where clutter distracts, Ma clarifies. It's a path to a life that feels intentional, not frantic. Let's meet Aiko, a 38-year-old marketing coordinator who felt buried under the weight of her life. Her apartment was cluttered with clothes, books, and souvenirs from trips she barely remembered. Her days were a blur of work, social obligations, and scrolling through social media, where everyone else's life looked perfect. She felt disconnected from her friends and herself, her financial stress mounting from impulsive purchases. Then she discovered Ma through a documentary on Japanese design. She started small, clearing one shelf in her living room, keeping only a plant and a photo of her family. That small act of Ma made her space feel calmer, inspiring her to declutter more. She began scheduling 1 hour a week with no plans, just Ma, to sit with a cup of tea and reflect. She also paused her social media habit, creating digital MA by limiting her screen time to 10 minutes a day. These small changes shifted her perspective. Her home became a sanctuary, her evenings felt richer, and she saved money by buying less. Aiko's Ma wasn't about emptiness. It was about creating space for joy, connection, and clarity. How do you start practicing Ma? Here's a detailed roadmap to guide you. First, identify one area of your life where you feel overwhelmed: your home, schedule, mind, or relationships. Don't try to fix everything. Choose one focus. Second, create a small pocket of Ma. If it's your home, pick one surface, a table, a shelf, and clear it completely. Keep only 1 or 2 items that spark joy or serve a purpose. Notice how it feels to see that space breathe. If it's your schedule, carve out 5 minutes a day with no agenda. No phone, no tasks, just presence. Third, make this a daily practice. Consistency is key. Even a tiny act of Ma builds momentum. Fourth, expand slowly. Once that shelf feels right, move to another. Once 5 minutes of quiet feels natural, try 10. Fifth, reflect regularly. Each week ask, how does this space feel? What's changed in my mind or heart? Sixth, celebrate your progress. Did you clear one drawer? That's Ma. Did you pause for a moment of quiet? That's a win. These celebrations keep you motivated. Let's make this even more practical with specific exercises. Try the one surface challenge. For 1 week, clear one surface in your home daily: your nightstand, a countertop, your desk. Keep only what's essential or meaningful. Journal about how it feels to see that space open up. Next, practice the 5-minute pause. Each day, set a timer for 5 minutes and do nothing. No phone, no planning, just sit or walk mindfully. Notice your thoughts, your breath, the world around you. This is Ma in time. Third, do a digital declutter. For 1 month, limit one digital habit, maybe 10 minutes less on social media or unsubscribing from one email list daily. Reflect on how this space affects your focus. Fourth, try the gratitude space. Each evening, pause for 30 seconds to name one thing you're grateful for: a quiet moment, a kind gesture, a simple meal. This creates emotional Ma. Fifth, practice a Danshari micro-challenge. Each day, let go of one item you don't need: a shirt, a book, an old note. Ask, does this serve me? If not, release it with gratitude. Sixth, do a relationship pause. When talking with someone, pause before responding, giving their words space to land. Notice how this deepens your connection. Challenges will arise, and Ma helps you navigate them. Impatience is a big one. In a world of instant results, creating space can feel slow or pointless. Remind yourself that Ma is about long-term clarity, not quick fixes. Perfectionism is another hurdle. You might clear a shelf but feel it's not perfect. Wabi-sabi, the Japanese art of embracing imperfection, reminds you that a slightly messy space is still progress. If you miss a day, start again tomorrow. No guilt. Time constraints are real, especially if you're juggling work or family. Ma doesn't need hours. 1 minute of pause or one cleared corner is enough. External pressures, society's push to fill every space, to always be productive, can make Ma feel indulgent. Trust that space is productive in its own way, fostering peace and purpose. Finally, emotional resistance might surface. Letting go of clutter or habits can feel like losing part of yourself. Acknowledge this fear, then ask, does this serve my future? Ma is about creating space for who you're becoming. Let's meet Javier, a 45-year-old teacher who felt suffocated by his cluttered life. His home office was a chaos of papers, books, and unused electronics, mirroring his mental overload from grading and planning. He felt disconnected from his wife, their evenings lost to screens. Financial stress from impulsive purchases added to his anxiety. Inspired by a Japanese art exhibit, he learned about Ma. He started by clearing his desk, keeping only his laptop and a small plant. That single act of Ma made work feel less daunting. He began leaving 15 minutes unscheduled each evening to talk with his wife, creating Ma in their relationship. He also stopped buying unnecessary gadgets, embracing Motanai by repairing what he had. Over months, his home felt calmer, his marriage stronger, and his budget lighter. Javier's Ma wasn't about having less. It was about making room for more connection, creativity, and peace. Ma connects beautifully to other philosophies. Danshari supports physical decluttering, letting go of what doesn't serve you. Motanai encourages respect for resources, repairing, reusing, valuing what you have. Wabi Sabi embraces the beauty of imperfect spaces, like a slightly worn chair that tells a story. Kaizen, the art of small improvements, pairs with Ma by encouraging tiny steps toward space, like clearing one item daily. Ikigai, the search for purpose, thrives in the space Ma creates, letting you focus on what lights you up. These ideas form a tapestry of intentional living, where space becomes a tool for clarity and meaning. Let's address more struggles. Comparison is a thief of joy, especially when social media showcases perfect homes or lives. Ma counters this by focusing on your own space, not others. Try a digital detox, one screen-free evening a week, to create mental Ma. Financial anxiety can make decluttering feel risky. What if you need that item later? Ma paired with Motanai encourages mindful choices, like donating unused items to someone who will value them. If you feel disconnected, Ma in relationships, like pausing to listen fully, can rebuild bonds. If purpose feels elusive, Ma creates space to reflect on what matters, aligning with Ikigai. These small acts address big problems without overwhelming you. Sustainability is at Ma's heart. It's not about clearing everything at once, but creating habits that last. If clearing a room feels too much, start with a shelf. If an hour of quiet is impossible, try a minute. These tiny acts of Ma build a life that feels spacious and balanced. Over time, they create freedom. Freedom from clutter, from stress, from the need to prove yourself. You begin to see abundance not in what you own, but in what you experience. Moments of peace, connection, creativity. One final story. Meet Lila, a 29-year-old freelancer who felt lost in her cluttered apartment and chaotic schedule. Her space was filled with art supplies she rarely used, her days with freelance gigs that paid but didn't inspire. She learned about Ma through a podcast and started small, clearing her work table to hold only her sketchbook and a candle. That Ma sparked her creativity, leading to new projects. She began scheduling 1 hour a week for nothing, just sitting, thinking, being. She also limited client emails to 1 hour a day, creating digital Ma. These changes didn't upend her life, but enriched it, giving her space to rediscover her passion for art and connection with herself. Lila's Ma was a reminder that space is where meaning grows. So, what's your first step? Right now, take a deep breath and choose one small act of Ma. Clear one corner of your desk. Pause for 1 minute of quiet. Let go of one item you don't need. It doesn't matter how small it seems. What matters is that you begin. Trust that this tiny space is the start of something bigger. Keep going, day after day, with patience and kindness. Ma is about creating room for the life you want. One breath, one cleared space, one intentional choice at a time. You don't need a perfect plan or an empty life. You have everything you need: a moment, a choice, a spark. Embrace that spark. Create that space. Let it guide you to a life that's clearer, richer, and uniquely yours. You're not just living, you're crafting a life where every space holds possibility. And that, dear friend, is the magic of friend, is the magic of friend, is the magic